It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
You do it then if you're so clever.
Go on, go on.
フルマスクルズ魔法ハリケーンラッシュ
Let me ask you guys something. What would you get if you took Saitama from One Punch Man and placed him in the world of Harry Potter? The answer? You get Mashle, Magic and Muscles. A fun little anime with a neat story and interesting mechanics. It's not perfect and has several flaws, but I liked watching it a lot, and with its second season wrapping up right now, I'd like to tell you why I think you should check it out. But before we get into all that, if you're a fan of my content and would like to help support the channel, then please hit the like button and the subscribe buttons. It's completely free, and all you have to do is make a YouTube account, which is also free. You can also hit the bell icon and be notified whenever my new videos drop. I cover Western movies and TV shows, as well as anime, and a little bit of gaming from time to time as well. My goal is to get to 1,000 subs this year, and with your help, I think I can do it. So, with all of that out of the way, let's get into the anime.
感触がシュークリームシュークリームパーチシュークリームパーチ
Mashle is about a guy named Mash, a young man who was born without any magical powers, but he lives in a world where everyone has magic. In this society, those born without magic are a threat to everyone else, and are hunted down and arrested. And presumably killed, I guess, although I'm not entirely sure about that. The idea here is that those born with magic are pure, and it's because of them that humanity has been able to survive this long. So if people with magic begin to intermingle with those who don't, then more and more people would be born without magic, and that would eventually lead to the end of humanity. Mash lives in the woods with a man who adopted him when he was a baby. Determined to not be underestimated by those who can use magic, Mash trains his body with exercising and strength training to ensure his physical abilities can go toe-to-toe with everyone else's supernatural abilities. Eventually, after making a trip to town so that he can buy these stupid cream puff things that he loves eating so much, he gets discovered and is pursued by the magical police. Mash's peaceful life in the woods with his father is over, and so he sets out to become the Divine Visionary, a highly esteemed position that would allow him to show the people of this world his true worth, and allow him to hopefully return to his peaceful life. To achieve his goals, as well as to ensure the safety of his father, Mash enrolls in Eston Magic Academy, basically Hogwarts, and is forced to compete with the heirs of the most powerful and influential families in the magical world. Mash is forced to hide his true, non-magical nature from everyone else, and is at a significant disadvantage when it comes to completing the simplest day-to-day tasks inside and out of the classroom. But in spite of all this, he comes up with unique and creative ways to rely on what he calls muscle magic, and uses his overwhelming strength to compensate for having no magic. The first season and second season has 12 episodes each. The first season is finished and is fully dubbed. The second season is finishing up at the time of this video, but doesn't have any dubbed episodes out just yet, but hopefully it will soon. I enjoyed this anime, and it was fun to watch, but it does have some issues. So let's get into the pros and cons. First off, if you're going into this expecting a masterpiece with amazing characters and gut-wrenching storytelling like Attack on Titan or Demon Slayer, for example, then you're going to be disappointed. You can compare this one to, say, the differences between Overlord and Skeleton Knight from Another World. Basically, one is high quality with deep lore and intricate storytelling that is well thought out inside of a fantasy land filled with D&D mechanics, while the other one has most of those themes and elements, but is more campy and fun and not meant to be taken as seriously as the other. That's what Mashle is when compared to something like One Punch Man. They're both very similar. They both have protagonists that isn't taken seriously by anyone around them, but is secretly the most powerful person in the room. They're both placed inside of a fantasy land with superpowered individuals, and both protagonists have a nonchalant, passive personality, and over half the time they're completely oblivious to what's going on around them. Both are great, but Mashle, in comparison, feels more dumbed down and simplistic. Because of that, there are times that the characters really come across as one-note and uninteresting. Although the strength of this anime isn't the characters or the arcs they go on, but rather the theatrics of the magical duels and the build-up and payoff of seeing MASH completely putting to shame so-called elites in spellcasting. Don't get me wrong, there is character development and each person has their own motivations for doing things, but it doesn't come across as the central focus of the anime. Maybe I just feel that way because there's a lot of campiness, which is fine. In fact, the silliness of the anime pays off at times because when there's a serious moment, it hits a lot harder because it's such a drastic change of pace. The only thing that I would have changed, or at least ease up on a bit, was how stupid they made the protagonist MASH. I mean, it's not that he's just oblivious to the things around him because he's bored or doesn't care. No, he really is just a dumb meathead. All he thinks about is eating cream puffs, and in every episode comes across as just a retard. It's slightly subversive during the few times he seems to get pissed and unleashes his strength for a serious situation, but it needs to be dialed back a little bit. I mean, he really does come across as dumb, but that would be my biggest gripe. But other than that, it was a fun watch. Having the school environment and learning about different kinds of magic in each episode was interesting. The goofiness and the campy behavior made me laugh from time to time, and the times where the anime took itself serious hit in the way that it should have and kept me invested. The story unfolded in such a way as to leave each episode off with a cliffhanger, which made me want to come back for more. And although I feel the side characters were a bit basic and one note at first, I will say that as the season went on, they each began to receive a little bit more depth, and I'm looking forward to seeing where the story leads in the second season. Also, I need to mention that I never felt bored or uninterested while watching this one. Sometimes you get a great anime, but it'll have a filler episode here and there, and it's a bit underwhelming. But this first season flew by fast. When I say it was fun, I mean it's fun all the way through, and the pacing always kept me interested. So, with all of that being said, I would like to definitely recommend Mashle, Magic and Muscles, and I'd say that it's an anime that you guys need to watch. But what do you guys think? Have you seen it yet, and did you like it? Or is this one that's going to be going on the list so that you can check it out later? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you liked the video, then please hit the like button and the subscribe button. And, of course, as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a great freaking day.